you see our gallery, but this space have a plus of this is the workshop, the studio. For us, it's important to show that because when the people normally see our printmaking, don't know how it's possible to do that. Normally confused with a kind of drawing, but it's a special drawing. Yeah. And for that reason, I will show you the space. Please come here. We start first for the bottom, for the last room, please, because this is the final stage of the process. This is the beginning. Well, yeah. Here.
But I think she wants you to wait for the group.
Ah, okay. Okay. Right. Then I'll show you this work. But first, excuse me. Well. The idea is explain the technique. My field is in metal printmaking. The technical term is calcography. It's a special term, who means the process for create drawing over metal. Normally copper plate, like this one. This is on a copper plate. Protect and cover for behind and for the four sides with tape, and then it's protect in the surface with a kind of varnish. This varnish is made with wax and rosin and asphaltum in a special mix, a special formula, and the idea is cover the metal, cover the copper. And then with a kind of needle, a kind of metal point, you remove the varnish over the surface like this. I can show you the process. You remove the varnish and then leave the copper, leave the metal free. Put this in the acid, or we use here, it's more healthy, a kind of salt. Ferric chloride salt, and the salt go inside the metal, inside the lines, and bite the metal and create the three-dimensional kind of drawing. It's more close to a sculpture than the classic drawing. And well, in different time of exposure, the metal is possible to create the several grays and blacks. We normally use this kind of scale, like this, for see the different tones in different times in the acid, and combine different form and different point for do the drawing. And with all this mix, it's possible to create one work like this. These are a proof of the same plate. I start with this idea. This is the state, the real estate now in the for the plate, and that one is the idea. I try to go forward for that plan. That is a sketch for the future. I try to do here that image. That is the plan. And in different time in the acid and different form of drawing, it's possible to create all kind of effect, like you can do in the gallery. And that is the process in general terms. You have a question of...
So you can make multiple prints from the plate?
It's possible, yes. It's a matrix, it's a base for using this like a base, print and edition. Maybe in copper it's possible to do 50 or 70 prints, no more, because the metal is, when you print one sheet, probably you erase the more fine lines, and for that reason it's not possible to print 1,000. It's only possible, it's a very old form of press.
What about the intensity of the contrast of the color?
Mhm.
Is it all the same every single print?
Yes, of course. If you move inside this formula, this possibility, combine the pressure of the press, the metal, the kind of metal, in this case copper is a little bit soft, but you can do, like I show you there, a kind of brass, a kind of bronzy plate. It's more strong, more hard, and for that reason it's possible to print 500 prints. In copper, no more than 70. That is a limit. Inside this limit, you can print the number who you like. But of course, the possibility, the quality of the image is the same. If you print 1, 2, or 50. But if you try to print more than the limit, probably the image beginning to erase, and the process is not the same, and you need to change the plate and create several states or transformation of the image. It's possible to do that, like Rembrandt. Rembrandt works go in different states. You create print like this, and then in this case, it's the example, you cover again with varnish, and then create more lines and put in the acid and create the second state. I go to the second state in that way. In that way, it's possible to do more than 50, for example, because I create several different states with the same plate. But for one print, for one etching, no. You need to go inside the limit. It's not possible to do more.
So do you need to think in mirror images when you do this?
Yeah, that is one of the problems. It's three problems. One is the image when you do like this, you need to move in that way. It's in a mirror, because in the plate it's like my finger, and that go to the other way. For that reason, this is here. It's in the another way. It's on a mirror. The another thing is you can see the plate. The image looks white, and the back varnish dark. It's on a kind of negative, because when you expose the metal, that goes to the black. It's a negative image. And the third problem is this is the opposite, like in a classic drawing, because when you draw, the sheet is white, and then you put more and more lines and became dark. Here is the opposite. You start for the dark ones first, and then add more lines. For example, for these black lines or areas, you need 4 hours in the acid. But for very softly lines, probably 7 or 8 minutes. You start for the dark first, and then finish to the light. That is the opposite in 3 ways. And the 4 is, of course, it's not a classic drawing. This is a sculpture, because when you do this, you bite the metal. It's not possible to correct easily. You say, I don't like this, I try to do it now, because the metal go inside, and you need to figure out this before you create the lines. When you put in the acid, that's done. That is the process in a few words. Here I can show you another possibility. Sorry, excuse me. This is when the image is done. It's possible to add some color using watercolor, because the ink, the base ink for this printmaking is oil base, and watercolor is water base. For that reason, it's possible to keep the drawing of the metal clearly, and then add color to the paper at the same time. It's a classic form of put color over etching. It's not the same like color etching. Color etching, you need to use one plate for each color and combine all in only one final piece. But this is put color by hand, one by one, and it's very nice. I like to do this because you can change the color in different prints and prove different possibilities. That's the way, but it's not finished. something. Well, here it's possible to see another plate. I work in different plates at the same time. This French ink, Charbonnel, came from Paris. There's two professional inks for printmaking. And well, this is on a plate finished. This is on a bronzy plate. It's on a kind of fake brass. It's more light than classic brass for the musical instrument, for example. No, this is it's more light, but it's very strong. It's very heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. When you remove the varnish, the image goes like this, in deep, and then you leave the ink over the surface with these instruments, and then you need to clean that. Remove the excess of the varnish for the surface and only leave ink in the lines. And then when the process done, probably for this size of plate, I spend 2 hours or a little bit more for one print. And then you put the plate with the ink over the press. You need to prepare the paper. You need to put the paper in the water and then dry. It's a little bit complex process to the paper, and then put the paper on top, cross to the print, and transfer the image from the plate to the paper. And when you saw the image in the gallery, you saw that final process. And here it's possible to see one of these prints. Here it's on a print of that. It's possible to see. If you like to see the difference between the metal and the image, please go there.
Do you reuse the plates?
Yes, of course. It's possible to see another print in the different level of the same plate.
And then you clean it and
Exactly,
start over.
exactly. It's
What are all
necessary
the
to repeat
beer
this.
bottles?
No. This is because I like beer,
Okay.
and one time people know that and give me
Different ones.
different ones and say you don't have this one and prove that one, and I collect and then in several years all of this